Is there anybody home? Hello? Can y'all hear me? What's happening, everybody? How's everybody doing today? I figured I wouldn't make everybody wait since I already saw 15 people up in here. What is happening on this fine happy hump day? But thank y'all for being here. You could have been any place else today, but y'all chose to be with my annoying ass today. But thank you guys for being here. Hopefully we will have something informative and cool to do today, but wanted to give out my usual shout outs for all the people that have shown up here as usual. So let's do that first. People were chatting early, so I saw Mike Bird was here. I didn't actually get to see him, but I saw Mike Bird early. But there's Mr. Big Chris. What is happening, Mr. Big Chris? He's always here. He's a member too. If you guys have any questions about membership, take a look in the description below. Mr. JSRC Hobbies, I haven't seen you in a while, but howdy to you. Thanks for being here. Mr. Snow River, another member. Howdy, howdy. Pete Lane, what's up? Mr. Victor RC Jets, another member. What's up? Who else? Who else? Andy Cho is here also. Mr. Airshow, that's what I'm gonna call you. Mr. Airshow. Andy is an airshow fiend. I'll be getting to that too here in a little bit. But thanks for being here, Andy. Mr. Slapnuts, not liking the music. I'm sorry. I don't like it either, but it's better than nothing. Mr. Juan Smokey De La Garza, what's up? Pops 305, what's up? Paul Ballard, who's a member, getting down to the porno music. Bam, chicka, wow, wow. What's up? The Fred Barron, Mr. Craig Bevan. Who else? Reckham Roy is here. Oh, and so what do you know? There's Mr. Hanger 51, Mr. Kenny. What's up? Who else? Mr. George Watts. What's up, George Watts? Yeah, and as people come in, I will say more, but I've got a guest on the show today who's got some stuff that we needed to work out on his burner. We will get to him in a little bit, but I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit first and see what's going on in the this RC crazy RC world we got going. I got to fly for the first time in a while. After taking a little break, we did the air show on the 3rd, and then 3rd of September. Then we had a whole bunch of other stuff. Went to Maui. Took time off for other stuff, and then got back to flying this last weekend. So it was cool. Flew from sun up to sundown. I was out there before the sun was up, and I left after the sun was gone, so it was good to do that. Now that the days are getting a little shorter, it's probably going to get easier to do that too, and the weather starts getting better in Livermore. But so anyway, let's if y'all got any questions, now's the time, because I don't want to keep our guests waiting too long. But y'all got questions, go ahead and spit them out there. But I'm also just letting you guys know what's going on with me. So as I said, I did some flying over the weekend. Pete Lane was out there with me, which was cool. But we had a little event there at LFE on Saturday, which was cool. And excuse me. It was a good day. A little breezy, but just breezy, not windy, just breezy. And it actually got a little cooler than I expected. It was crystal clear in the morning, and then right as the sun came up, the fog moved in for a little bit, so it was a little weird. But got some good flights. I haven't been posting nearly enough videos, so I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to start posting all of it. I have a whole bunch just sitting there that just need to be published, so I'm going to spend some time setting those up to show up. Need to start flying all over again, because I've just been flying in one spot. I've been flying in Livermore, but need to make a couple trips to some other places. I might be going to Oakdale, but we'll see. Yeah, Snow River, thankfully we haven't gotten much wildfire anything here, so it's been good. We're not out of the woods yet though, because we don't have any real rain here yet. So until we get actual real rain, the fire could show up at any time. So I'm hoping that we make it through October, November without any nasty smoke. It would be awesome if that happened. Yeah, we went through our windy phase. It's been crazy windy here. This has probably been one of the windiest years I can think of. It's been pretty busy. Pretty windy. We've had 50, 60 mile an hour winds here. And more so than normal. You know, it's normal to have between 12 to 15 during the summer where we are, and then it dies off. Pushing 20, but never 40, 50, 60. And that's what's been happening. So, yeah, as I said, I do need to get Nate back on the show, especially since he's been out flying and doing other interesting stuff. I haven't been out flying with him in forever. I need to go out and fly with him so he can tell me how bad of a pilot I am. He'd use a rudder. Oh, blah, shut up. Anyway, it's been a while. And yes, we got the B1 bomber on Monday, and that was pretty badass. I didn't have my camera equipment worthy of, showing it as it should have been, but I did get a couple little shots of it. It was awesome. Andy Cho actually got a really good video that he shared. The thing put the full wing sweep as soon as it got over the stadium. It went full burners. That's 4 full burners. It's pretty dang awesome. I got to see it. So right back behind us, it was in a holding pattern, flying in probably like a 20-30 mile an hour circle. So I got to see it 7-8 times as it went past. So it was kind of cool to see that. But I have a camera and a huge lens set up because we've got some cool stuff coming over here for the next over the weekend. It's Fleet Week here, and then we're going to have some cool stuff coming into the airport here at Moffett. So I have some camera equipment set aside that I rented for the weekend, so I got to pick it up on Thursday and then do some stuff on Friday. Hopefully get to see some of the things happening on Saturday. I'm going to post up over by Moffett and do the whole spotting deal on Sunday and get some good shots. I have a 100 by 500 top quality L lens and a good DSLR on rent, set to rent. So yeah, we're gonna get out to see that. Oh, Michael Wright, so what's up? The Right, so Nate must be out flying. He's been flying a lot in the evening, so that's probably I figured that's probably what he'd be doing. But that's cool. Glad to see he's out enjoying his newfound freedom with his private pilot's license. How many 17-year-olds are responsible enough to get their private pilot's license? I think that's pretty cool. So good for him. He's a pain in the ass, but he's still a good kid. So, as I call him, ass biscuit. But anyway, yeah, Record Roy, it was pretty cool. The B1 was awesome. I could see it, but it didn't do justice with the it didn't do justice with the phone cam. So I just wish I'd have had the camera sooner, because I could have gotten some really good shots with that 500 lens. Would have been able to cut through the power lines and actually see the plane. But yes, it's very cool. Never see them in the Bay Area, so it was cool to see it. I think they're too noisy. I'd love to see that thing come over my house. It would shake the crap out of the house on the way in, but it would be really cool to see. So very cool. Mr. Wright's that's cool. You guys are watching him fly. One of these days I'll get on there. I'm thinking about switching up the day. The funny thing is, if Kenny's still here, Kenny goes live 2 days a week. So you know what? I'm gonna have to do something about that. I might have to do another live stream another time. What I'm gonna try to do is do some more streams at the field. Do a couple more of those. But that's about it. I don't see a whole lot of questions coming through, but just as you guys, as I said, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of cool stuff to be posting after this weekend, because I plan to get lots of footage from my spotting adventure. So, but what I had intended to do, yeah, Reckham, I've actually seen that too. It wasn't a takeoff, but it was an actual performance. There are very few B1 performances, but there was a B1 performance back in Merced in the 90s, and it took off, did some cool stuff. I've seen one do a fast pass to an unrestricted climb, which is pretty cool. To see that plane, it's so big. It's like the size of a passenger plane. It's bigger than, I forget what it is. It's big. It's just big. To see a plane that size moving that quick, like when it was in the holding pattern, just to see this big old beast of a plane hauling ass, doing 450, 500 knots, just crazy. Pretty cool. Maybe not quite that fast, probably 350, 400, but it was moving. So So I don't see a whole lot of questions going on here. So we're going to get into this Q&A stuff because I've got a customer who is having some issues and wanted to figure out how to get some things going. So we're gonna pull him in here. Hopefully, if you're ready, give me a nod. I'm looking at you. Just give me an okay, cool. So we will get Mr. Joe in here. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hi. How is
How you
everybody
doing?
doing tonight? Doing
All
good.
right. Just sitting here in the dark.
So when I pitched this to you, I said that I'm a newbie and that I keep making a bunch of newbie errors.
That's all good. It doesn't matter how seasoned you are. You always make mistakes. I still make mistakes, and Nate's one of the first people to point it out when I do. So, don't worry about it. Just I'm here to help. So just let me know what's going on, and let's see if we can figure this out.
Yeah, you were talking about air shows and stuff. I lived for 20 years in Chicago, and Chicago is a beautiful city to see the air show in. They fly right over the water.
Right, I heard about it.
Water. Oh my goodness! I used to have a boat in Lake Michigan, and I would take my boat out, and just the jets would fly right over the top.
Nice,
like
nice,
50
nice.
feet over your head. It was
Awesome.
nice.
That's kind of like what they're going to do this weekend. It's called Fleet Week. They
Mhm.
do it on the East and the West Coast. And over here, they do it in San Francisco, right by the Golden Gate. So
Yeah,
it's right over the water. It's pretty cool.
it's beautiful.
And everybody in San Francisco complains, and I laugh at them.
Yeah,
But they always complain. Oh, it's so much noise. It's just one day. I mean, for a couple days, whatever. Shut up. So,
yeah.
but it is cool, and I plan to get out there and get to see some of that stuff and have a camera to actually capture it this time. So,
Yeah.
but I have seen some of the videos from the ones you're talking about. I forget what they call it though. What are the shows called? It's
Air and Water Show in
there you
Chicago.
go. There you
Yeah,
go.
it's the Air and Water.
Yeah.
The Coast Guard comes out and does all sorts of rescue missions underwater as well.
Yep.
It's cool. And now I live in the DC area, and 2 years ago I went to Andrews and got to see the Blue Angels there.
Oh, cool.
And I've got a neighbor that works there, and he took me to see the 113th Wing and 121st Fighter Squadron.
Oh, nice.
And so I've only been flying for RC for 2 years, and I got myself my first real EDF. I've got a copy as well, and
cool.
Painted it with the wing, the local wing. These are the planes that protect the DC airspace.
Okay, cool.
9/11 happened. These are the planes that were going up.
Those are the ones that went out. Yeah.
Yeah.
F-16s and 15s, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Very cool.
So the one you've got there is what? Is that the 80?
Yeah, it's the 80 millimeter E-flite.
Okay.
And I flew it probably before I should, and I beat up the nose on it. And my first newbie lesson for the day is I read you could take foam if it was crushed a little bit and put it in hot water for a second, and the foam will relax.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens if you put a nose cone in the boiling water for about 10 minutes.
Oh, Jesus. What the hell? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, don't do that.
So I ordered a new nose cone from E-flite, and it was on back order for nearly a year, and I finally gave up on it, and they just came out with a new Thunderbirds version.
Right.
And I got the Thunderbirds nose cone within a week, and painted it, but it's the same plane. They just
that's the same plane. There's a whole bunch of those parts that are just back ordered. I've noticed. So.
Yeah. Very good. But watching your show over a year ago, I think it was over a year ago, you were mentioning putting the 80 millimeter X-Fly fan EDF in this plane, and you had.
Yeah, and I see. Speaking of newbie mistakes, here, this is something I did that was really stupid. So, in reference to that setup, and Nate always makes sure to rub that in too. So I got that airframe, and then I had an ESC from my old Hawk that I'd taken out, and I had the X-Fly, so I put the X-Fly in it with that ESC. Little did I know that ESC was not programmable, and it had stupid defaults in there. With the Hawk, it made no difference. I was able to fly it, but I did end up crashing that plane at one point, and I didn't realize it was because of that ESC. So the ESC was stuck on medium timing, and it was stuck on a high cutoff, and it was a hard cut. So when it cut, it would just shut off everything. So I had tried to fly the plane. The first time I flew it, it freaked out, and I landed okay. The second time, it cut off on me, so I wasn't able to get it to come back until just at the last second, and landed the plane just fine. Well, I thought I could go through and program it. I went through, thought I'd done the programming, didn't bother to test it on the ground like I should have, and went and flew it, and it was flying awesome. Like, oh, this is great. Boom, motor shut out. Like, what the heck? So it shut off in the worst place possible at the worst time, and I zigged when I should have zagged, and crunch, destroyed it. So I destroyed the plane. I did make some of the money back on the selling some of the parts, but it destroyed the plane. Thankfully, if I do it again, I'll know what to do, and I have the ESC set up the right way to do it, because that the ESC that I was using was the old Predator, which is not programmable. So don't worry, we all make mistakes. It doesn't matter. It's just if you try to blame it on something that's not yourself, that's the issue.
Yeah, no, I don't know what I'm doing at all.
Yeah.
So I think it was yesterday or the day before I reached out for help. I was plugging whenever I hooked up the plane after I put in the new motor, I would just hear a beep from the motor, beep beep beep, and I couldn't figure out why. I ordered a ESC programming box and thought it was probably something to do with that, and I don't know what, as I'm going through the menu in the ESC programming, I don't know really what I'm looking at. And there was one called volts, and it was at 6 volts. And I looked at the options and went, well, maybe it needs more juice. And so
Oh no,
up to 8.4 volts. And I think I fried all the servos.
oh no, so that's the BEC voltage.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was newbie mistake number 782.
So tell me this: what receiver do you have? Is this the bind and fly?
Walk you over here. I've got the AR637TA.
Okay. And it's do you have it on a Y?
I do have it on a Y.
Okay, because I think that's probably your problem.
I tried it without the Y too, and I pulled it out. I've got the ESC out of the plane because I wanted to go through the programming thing to make sure I didn't screw anything else up with that as well.
Shadow, I knew you were playing. That's funny though. That's why I posted it up there. I thought it was funny. Anyway, so so you've got the BEC. Okay, so the thing that I want. The one thing that I've noticed with some of these planes, especially the bind and flies, is that throttle channel has a lot of telemetry and other stuff going through it. So sometimes you need the easiest way to avoid all of that is to. And what kind of packs do you use?
I've got a 5,000.
There's the issue. Okay, so the smart pack,
Yep.
Throttle channel, and the battery balance adapter, all those things, and that smart pack, that sometimes they conflict, so it'll make the ESC freak out and won't arm, and it won't arm the anything. So that could be the issue, and I can walk you through changing that stuff. And you might, let's see, let me see. Again, are you are you using telemetry? What does it tell you? What your batteries voltages and all that?
It was, yeah, it was a bind and fly. So with the stock motor, I had all of the telemetry with the smart battery. Told me temperature, battery temperature, voltage,
right,
and everything. And I want to say I ordered the Fire Booty like over a year ago. It had to be like 18
Yeah, I
months.
think it was. It was a while ago.
It
When I
was a
looked it up.
while ago.
Yeah.
And I had to wait a while for this because it was during the pandemic. And I waited until I got the new X-Fly motor and put it on. And it lit up at one time. The first time I used it, the Fire Booty actually fired, lit up. The motor did not turn on with it. And then it started doing the beeping thing, and I put it away for a year. And
Right. So I'm thinking that the beeping thing is going to be the combination of the smart pack,
and the
receiver on the throttle channel, so we can change that. So what needs to happen is I think we need to have it run through a separate channel, and there is a channel on there on that receiver free.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just what actual transmitter are you using?
NX8.
Okay. So that's actually pretty easy to do too.
Mm-hmm.
So which channel is free? It should be aux1. It's free on your
on there, yeah, I think it's aux1.
Okay. On your receiver, it should be aux1.
You guys can't see the screen.
Yeah, NX8 is a good radio. I have a 10.
Yeah.
So your receiver itself, what is plugged into aux1? It should just be like that BEC.
Nothing. I've unplugged everything last night when I burn out the servos. So
did you change the servos yet, or are they still?
I changed the ones in the wings.
Okay.
I haven't changed the one in the rudder, and I think only one of the horizontal stabs was burned out.
Okay.
But I have other. I just got some new servos in.
Okay, so you got new
today.
stuff.
So
we could still do it if you want without.
Yeah, I can change the servos myself. I'm more interested in learning how to.
So aux1 is going to be available. So in your radio, go to on your transmitter, go to the system setup menu.
Yep.
And then go into. Let me make your screen bigger. I'll make you bigger. And then you go into. Let's see if you can find channel assign.
Channel assign. Right now, throttle's on 1, ailerons are on 2, elevators on 3, rudders on 4, gears on 5. aux1 has aux1 in it.
Okay, so aux1, you can change that to throttle as well.
All right, throttle. And number 1, keep it as throttle as well, or
leave that one. Leave throttle where it is, but you're just making aux1 another throttle.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
That's it.
All right.
So go back to the main. So now look at your monitor on your radio, and then if you have throttle cut, put the throttle cut on first. Now move it. Did both of them move, or just
both of them are moving?
Even
both throttles are moving up. Throttle cut. Neither one of them are moving.
Okay, so that might be an issue. Usually what I'll do is I'll have it set to where if you put throttle cut on, the other throttle will still work. So let me see how I did that. Let me grab my radio. Hold on. What I think I do, I might have I put it on a different menu. So let me do that. I think you have to go to the port. Go to port assign and change it. But let me try.
This camera's not picking up.
All right. So, yeah, it's probably the white balance gets weird sometimes. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Sorry if it's too loud. Set up line. Channel assign. Yeah, I just input config. Port assignments. Okay. So did you have that on the input config or on? So on, okay, so your first menu is what on when you go into channel assign?
Channel input config.
Okay, so you've got aux1 as throttle.
Yeah, on my screen on channel input config, it says number 1 throttle colon NA,
Mm-hmm.
2 Ailer NA, 3 Elev NA, 4 Rud NA, 5 Gear B, then 6 is aux1A.
Okay. So aux1 on yours is A.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have aux? Do you have safe on yours?
I did.
Are you using safe or are you going to use it?
No.
No. Okay. So, um, so do you still need aux1?
No.
So wait, aux1 said A?
Yes.
Okay, so that might have been the issue. So get rid of where it says input config for aux1. Make that it should be
Throttle.
throttle.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna go back and try it again.
Then let me go to the next port assignment. On port assignment, what are your ports?
Say that again.
On port assignment, because the next menu should be port assignment. Just make sure they're all right.
Number 1 still says throttle, aileron, elevator, rudder, gear, and number 6 says throttle.
Okay. All right. So you should be good. Okay. So now go back and try it again.
Going back and got it. So when throttle cuts on, nothing is moving again.
Okay.
Throttle cut off, both move.
Okay. So then it has to be something in that port assignment. Because the one that I'm using right now on mine, it actually moves both. I mean, it'll move one at a time. So aux2. I have mine on aux2, and it says throttle. Display. Just make sure that they're both the same. The port assignment and the.
Going back out, system setting. Going back to channel assign. So it says aux1 is throttle, and then number 1 on the channel input config says throttle is in A is number 1.
Right. And then the next one, port
is
assignment.
aileron, and then the next is elevator, then rudder, then gear, then aux1 colon throttle.
Okay. That should be it. So then, okay, go back to channel. Go do the channel assign again. Go back to aux1 on the very first one, and make it just say aux1, if it can. Will it let you change it to anything?
It's got a whole lot of options. Rudder, elevator, aileron, throttle, I, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, inhibits. It has everything but aux1.
Okay.
Roller, clear. It's all the buttons.
All the buttons. Okay. I'm wondering why. Let me check with mine here.
Throttle cut.
Yeah, so mine works.
I wonder what happens if I change port assignment 1 from throttle if I put inhibit.
See what happens, but then that will shut everything off.
All right, so now throttle cut is working, and only the aux1 that is set to throttle is going up and down.
With both of them?
No, the other one is inhibited.
Okay.
So I killed port 1.
Okay, you don't want to do that.
Does it need to say throttle though?
It should. Well, you should have to. That's the part I got to figure out. Sorry for the beeping.
Good.
Yeah,
I can make throttle 1 aux 1. Let's do that. So number 1, I could make port 1 aux 1, and aux 1 is throttle.
There you go. Try that and see.
Okay. All right, they're both going up. Aha. So now throttle cut is killing one of them, but it's killing. So throttle cut is inhibiting port 1.
Okay, but
what am I saying? Port 1 is live all the time. Aux 1, auxiliary 1, is working with the throttle cut. It can either be on or off.
Okay, that's what you want.
Okay.
So you want it to where throttle cut will kill the motor, but it won't kill the burner.
Okay.
And that should be what it's doing right now, right?
Okay, cool. Rock and roll.
There you go. So we got it. Okay.
Sweet.
I don't know how I got that wrong, but it's working.
Bing!
Okay, so now you can plug the burner into aux 1, and then the throttle into the regular spot. You don't need to plug anything else in other than the. There is no BEC, so it's gonna the ESC will have a BEC built in. There's a parking spot.
All right.
You took it.
All right. So the burner's going into aux 1, which is channel 6 on the radio, right, on the receiver, right?
Say it again.
The LEDs are getting plugged into number 6.
6. Yes.
Yep. And then the throttle.
That should go onto 1. Hopefully that should clear it up.
I might need the ESC for this part.
Yeah, you do.
I'm like, where's the throttle?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be plugged into the motor, but you do need the ESC.
All right. And then get rid of the Y cable.
Yes, you don't need that in there.
Okay. What are the auxiliary BEC cables for on an ESC?
They have that set up for if you did want to use a BEC, you could plug it in there. But they do have a, there should be a capacitor plugged into something too.
Capacitor plugged into something too.
Because there's a capacitor that can go to any one of the channels. That's just the backup.
All right. So let's see if the servos work. What's the difference between a digital servo and an analog servo?
The way that they modulate, so the digital will be more precise and stronger. Analog will be just more basic. Not quite as much resolution or power. They still work fine, but they're just not as good.
It was aileron, elevator, then rudder. Elevator.
Chicken McFry. Who's Chicken McFry?
How long have you been flying?
Ooh, forever. I started when I was 9, so
Aw.
that was back in the what? Sheesh, 1984, 85, in that area.
Mm.
So long time ago. Long time.
My father came up to visit during the pandemic from Georgia, and he was in a wheelchair, and everything in DC was closed.
Mhm.
And he was raised on an airport, and so for his birthday, I bought him a little cheap remote control
Oh, cool.
plane, and we went all around DC and flew it in places that I now realize are illegal. We went and flew a little Spitfire around the Washington Monument.
Oh, nice.
And
I mean, you probably weren't supposed to, but who cares? It didn't hurt
little
anything.
bitty plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little park flyer. And had a blast. And then when he went home, I bought myself a plane, and I bought my kid a plane, and then I bought another plane. And so this is, yeah, I've been having a good time for the past 2 years. Turned into a E-Flight fanboy.
Yeah,
Okay.
E-Flight's not bad.
I think we are ready to go.
Cool.
When I plug in the lights, so I plug them in last, does it matter?
It's what I do normally. I'll just plug in the plane and get it going first.
Plug in the plane first?
Yeah, and then plug in the burner after that.
Okay. Woo! It has not done that in a while. I got
Is your throttle plugged in?
my throttle is plugged in to number 1, and the lights are plugged into number 6.
Okay. So is the throttle cut on right now?
Yes, the throttle cut is on now.
So the motor obviously is not getting any signal right now. Nothing's upside down or anything, is it?
Nothing is upside down right now.
It wouldn't be working if it was.
No. The fan is out of the plane.
Okay.
Are you talking about the receiver?
Yeah, because the receiver, basically what it's saying right now is that there's no signal.
Yeah, I've got the aileron servo that I replaced is working. One of the horizontal stab servos is still working. The rudder one I didn't replace yet, and the other horizontal stab didn't.
Okay, so
the motor is still doing the beeping thing.
That's what's freaking me out, because it's not getting any signal. So
now I'm giving it throttle. Giving it throttle with
throttle cuts on.
Yep.
Okay.
And off. I did it both.
Okay, so leave the throttle cut on.
Okay.
Now plug the burner in.
Burner is plugged into number 6.
Okay. So now move the throttle to half.
Throttle to half.
Now move it a little past.
A little past, nothing.
Okay, look at the burner controller. What's it doing?
Not much, because I didn't plug it.
That's what I was gonna say. Come on now. You gotta plug that part into the battery.
Sorry about the beeping.
It's okay. I gotta figure out why it's beeping.
I told you it would be entertaining to have a newbie on the show.
It's all good, all good.
All right, so now I have plugged in the LED.
Okay.
Has power coming off the balance.
What's the controller that you just plugged in? What's it doing?
What is the controller that I'm doing that I just plugged in? What is it doing? I don't see anything happening to the controller.
Okay, go to half throttle. What's the controller doing now?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
I don't see. Is there LED supposed to be on here?
Yeah, there's a red LED normally. So you plugged it into the the battery
balance
balance
speed of the battery.
Okay.
Correctly.
What the heck? So I'm wondering what's going on.
Throttle cut's still on.
Okay, but go to your monitor and make sure that your aux1 is moving.
Yes, aux1, which is port 1, is moving.
Wait, aux1 is
Now
port.
both of them are working. What's that?
aux1 is port 1.
aux1 is port 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Port 6 is throttle.
Okay, so you plug the throttle into 6 or 1?
I plug the throttle into 1.
Okay.
And I plug the LEDs into 6.
Okay. Okay. So is one moving with throttle cut off?
1 is moving with throttle cuts off.
Okay.
6 is not moving with throttle cut.
That's gonna be something's going on there.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get rid of the beeping for a second.
Yeah. 'Cause
Mm.
I think we've got something plugged in or something
And
done
I
wrong.
also I've got the original fan.
Wait, you unplugged the motor, right?
I unplugged the motor. I did not unplug the LED. It's still getting power through the LED.
Oh, that shouldn't be doing that. So is the red wire clipped on that? On the ESC? On the burner ESC?
It's there is a red and black wire that is heat shrinked.
Okay, now the signal wire. Which one is that? Do you see
Uh,
all
the-
3 of them
I see
connected?
all 3. I see.
There you go. That's a problem. I might have forgotten to clip it. Okay, so unplug that.
Okay.
Okay, so see that the middle wire in there?
Yep.
You can either unplug it or you can clip it. Because I normally clip it and I might have forgotten.
Okay.
Just the middle red wire.
Yep. I'm going to leave it a little slack. Okay.
Okay, so now that could be part of your problem because it's backfeeding. So
Yep.
plug everything back in the way it was and let's see what happens.
All right.
Because once I heard it beeping again with it unplugged, that told me something wasn't right.
Yay.
That's my fault.
All right, it's in 6.
So the smart ESC is going to freak out because it shouldn't be powered by something else. So that's probably why it's beeping at you.
Okay.
So also hold on to that fan if you plug it in.
Yep.
Just to make sure it doesn't take off on you.
Okay, let me put it somewhere safe.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. You don't want it sucking wires or anything in, or your fingers or anything like that. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, getting close to plugging in. All right, we ready?
Yep.
All right, big money.
Has it always made that noise?
No, the beeping?
Yeah.
No, that happened when the first time this happened is when I put in the new X-Fly motor with the Gooniac burner is when it started doing. That's what I was saying. We could also try this without the burner with the original motor and it's beeping as well.
Oh, it is too? Okay.
Yeah.
So that sounds like something in the ESC. So maybe you want to connect the ESC to that programmer.
Excellent. All right.
So let's unplug that and then let's plug that thing into the programmer and see what the hell it says.
Okay.
At least we know that the oh wait, hold on, before you do any of that, leave the just unplug the motor
Just
from the
motor.
ESC.
Got it.
And then let's
see if we can get the light to work.
Yeah, see if we can get the burner to work.
Sweet. All right. Mm-hmm.
What's that other lead that you've got right there?
This is the auxiliary BEC cord that I was asking about earlier, and
Okay.
the signal wire, and it has like the negative and the signal on one of them, and then I guess what would be the positive wire on its own little thing.
Okay.
And that's coming off the EEC. Yes.
That might be okay. I'm trying to think. That might need to be is safe enabled?
Safe was enabled. Yes.
Okay, so that might be part of the issue too. You might have to
I
rebind
can rebind it without safe.
That might be something to do as well.
Okay.
But let's see if we can get the burner to work right now, because you've got it plugged into 6.
All right, so we're batteries in, and the motor is unplugged.
Okay, and then
And put this up there, see if
plug the LED.
ready?
Do you see anything happening on the controller?
You're all about the controller. I'm all about the lights.
Is it plugged into the? Is it plugged?
It is plugged into the battery.
Okay.
You can see that from there.
Okay.
It is plugged in correctly.
Right.
In the right configuration.
And
I don't have any lights on the controller.
Okay. So the key to it go to half throttle, and a red light should come on.
Yeah, nothing.
It should flash slowly.
Yeah, I'm getting nothing on it at all. Is there a way to bypass the controller to see?
You can bypass the controller to see the light if the light plugs in. So just unplug the balance, unplug that burner like that, right? And then unplug the balance lead adapter and plug it directly into the light itself.
All right, here we go.
That should light up.
Woo!
There we go. Okay, yeah, it's bright. Don't blind yourself. Now, did I send you another?
No.
Okay, when you
sent it to me, the first time I put it in the plane, it lit up.
Okay.
And then.
Did you take the switch off of that one?
Did I take the switch off?
Did you remove the switch off of the controller, or did I send it to you that way?
You sent it to me like this, and I stuck it in the plane.
Okay.
And then we've just cut that little red.
The red, right? Okay. Yeah. So I'm thinking the controller might be part of the issue.
Okay.
Because it should have lit up right away.
Well, cool. I'm still wondering. So if I go with the original motor and plug it in, I still get the same beep.
You still get the beep. It's not going to matter. You need to go through the whole binding process again minus the safe.
Okay.
Because that's a safety feature, keeping the ESC from coming on unless you do certain switches with safe.
All right, main screen. Let's go down to bind.
So you just have to bind it without safe.
Which is this. All right, it's binding. Put the motor somewhere safe. Okay, that bound without safe. It's auto configuring.
Okay.
Aileron's working. Horizontal is working.
So did you bind? Do you have throttle? Has to be plugged in the right way. Why isn't throttle working?
Don't know. And getting it beeping again.
So okay, so we've done that. You might need to run the
programming box
programmer through the ESC. See what happens.
All right.
If you know how to do that.
More fun.
Because the issue might be the ESC. Wreck and Roy keeps saying, program that ESC.
Program it. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to program it myself last night, and the only thing I changed was the voltage and fried all of the servos.
Okay.
Live and learn. Okay, so I need to get juice to
For the ESC.
ESC. All right. You guys
Okay, I
see the
think
screen
I
better?
can see that. So you're gonna have to tell me what it says. I can't see it.
Yeah, can't read it. Okay, Horizon version 2, 1.0.10, which is the newest firmware. Connecting ESC, please wait. ESC software version. All right, flight mode, fixed wing. All right, so now we're in the thing. So
Okay.
I did not change anything. The only thing I messed with this yesterday was the voltage and screwed everything up. So I will give you the options. Number 1 is flight mode. It's on fixed wing.
Okay.
2 is brake type reverse.
Did you have the reverse setup for that one or no?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Brake force, I have at 6.
Mhm.
I don't know what brake force is. Do you know what brake force is?
Yeah, it's mainly for prop planes,
Yeah.
but it for EDFs it's not going to matter so much.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Cutoff type, I have surge. Lipo cells auto calculate.
Mhm.
Cutoff volts 3.2. BEC voltage 6.0.
Yeah, 6-0, most important.
That was the only one I adjusted yesterday. It says startup time is soft.
Okay, that's not good. Change that to normal.
Okay. And save. All right, startup time is normal. Next one, timing 15.
Too high. Go down to 5.
What is the timing?
It's the way that it works as similar as a car. It's when it tells the magnets to fire.
Okay.
So 5 degrees is where it needs to be. 15 is going to cause too many amps.
Okay.
So is it
All right,
down to 5?
Timing 5.
Okay.
Motor rotate counterclockwise.
Okay.
And active FW disabled.
What that is.
Active FW. You want to see what the options are? Active FW could be disabled or enabled. Well, there wasn't a whole lot of.
Yeah, just sleep.
Keep
Okay.
it as disabled. Governor gain level 11.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Me either. AR time 45 seconds.
What is AR time?
Don't know. I didn't read the manual yet.
Next one.
Auto start accelerate 1.5 seconds.
Auto start?
Auto start excel 1.5s.
Okay, go to the next. I'm gonna have to look this stuff up. I don't know what all that crap is.
got
I have
the-
one of these controllers too.
And then number 15 is thrust reverse is in channel 7.
Okay.
And then it has restore default, which I think I did do yesterday when I screwed everything up. I think I did restore default.
So one of the is channel 7 open?
I had it in one of the auxes for the reverse.
That's what I was gonna say. It should, but one of those, the one with, I think it's the signal, the single wire.
You're talking about the BEC thing?
Yeah, there's because there's 2 wires. Yeah. So there's one that says, does one say BEC? That's 2 wires.
Yep.
And
One
then there's
says auxiliary BEC, and the other one just has is the
single signal.
is the I guess it's the signal.
Isn't that the one for reverse?
It might be.
That might be why it's beeping at you.
Okay. Should I plug throttle in with the Y with this one?
No. So just plug that into 7 if 7 is
I
open.
don't have. I've only got 6 ports.
Okay, so 7 should be. The AR637, aren't there 7 channels?
Nope. There's 7 channels.
One's internal?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also the bind plug. I could give it.
Yeah, and that's another channel. Let me see. I had one of those things. Let me see if I can look at it. 637. Well, we're trying, but I don't know if we're going to get to that thing today. But I think the main problem is that you need a new controller. Because if it's not working at all, if you're not seeing anything come on, that's a problem.
Right, for the LEDs, but I don't know.
So,
because all I did originally was take out the motor and put in the new motor with the LEDs on it.
okay.
And the lights worked for a second. And then the next time I tried it, they didn't work. So I think I fried them or fried the board.
Okay.
Probably because that red wire was still hooked up.
Right. That could have been it. Which is my fault.
But then after that, the motors started beeping, and then I stuck it up in
So you may need to
storage for a year, waiting for a nose cone to come in.
So everything's bound right now. So what you may want to try is, everybody's saying throttle calibration. So you've already got it bound. Take your throttle, turn the throttle all the way up, plug the plane in.
Right, I gotta plug the motor back in.
You gotta plug the motor back in for that.
And I'm gonna just go with the stock motor.
That's fine.
Just for giggles.
And once we get the ESC working, then everything else should start
working. All right, stock motor's in. And the beast. And I have hold on. Seeing where the EC.
Also, make sure that the throttle's enabled too, because you don't want it.
Throttle's down, throttle cuts on.
Want the throttle enabled.
The throttle enabled. All right.
And leave the trim in the middle.
Leave the trim in the middle. All right, trim in the middle, throttle enabled.
But you unplug that battery first. Unplug it.
And then
there you go. Okay, so now so turn the throttle all the way on.
Yep.
All the way up.
Throttle all the way to halfway in the middle.
All the way up. All the way up.
Right, all the way up.
And then plug the plane in and be ready to pull the throttle back.
Okay.
Okay. Give it a second. That's something wrong with your ESC. Pull throttle back. Is the throttle's enabled right now, right?
Throttle is enabled, both auxiliary 1 and
throttle
6.
Yeah.
Both going up and down.
Something's wrong with your ESC.
Okay, in that case, I have backup ESC.
Okay, try that one.
And I've got a backup receiver to mess with too. All right. Backup ESC. I tried this last night and it beeped as well.
It did, so it's got to be something in your radio. Or a wire. There has to be some kind of a wiring issue. And you got to make sure that that throttle is moving.
That the throttle is what?
That the throttle on your radio is enabled. You don't want throttle cut on for this.
Okay.
You don't need all the other
to calibrate the motor. It can't have no signal going to it.
It has to be on, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So that was the stock ESC. This is my spare, which I haven't programmed correctly. We should do that.
If we're just going to be testing, I wouldn't worry about it.
You sure?
Yeah, just a test. It's going to be fine.
All right.
But it's the and you only need the throttle. We don't need any other channels.
Okay. Throttle going in number 1. Signal facing up.
And if it may be one of those things too, where, as Reckham just said, where you need to start over with a new model.
Mm-hmm. Start at a blank slate.
Yep.
Okay, so throttle cuts off, throttle all the way up. Both throttles are all the way up, and plugging in.
This is just the ESC, right?
This is ESC.
Okay.
All right. Did I bring the throttle down?
Yeah, that's got to be something with the way you have the model set up.
Okay.
So, because if everything else is working,
Let me see if I add. I don't know if they do. They have these in the bind and flies.
what do you mean?
On the NX series, you can just download some.
Yeah,
the
plane should already be preloaded.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I'm scrolling through their options of bind and fly planes. They got all the Blade helicopters.
Yeah, it should be there. If you have the newest.
Mm-hmm.
But as Reckham is saying, I just choose a blank new model. As annoying as it is, it might be best to just start over altogether.
All right. I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm. All right. Create new model. Model name, acro.
Yeah, just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And then let's see if we can get that
ESC.
We got to see if we can get that ESC to arm.
All right.
Because it's not even arming. Neither of them have.
Channel assign, keep it.
Just don't mess with anything. We just want to make sure the ESC works.
Okay.
So just don't plug anything else in, just or you can leave others plugged in, but you just want it to be a new model with no programming in there at all.
Yeah, and I want to bind it. Okay.
Bind it, yes. And that's the new ESC.
ESC.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Are you sure you have it plugged in the right port?
I have ESC plugged into port 1 with the signal wire on top. It is plugged in correctly.
And that's the throttle, correct?
That is what we said. The throttle. What it says on my radio is throttle is port 6. Oh no, that was the other model. Never mind.
Right. No, this is
Yeah.
It just stopped, or did it?
No, it's
no. What the heck?
Wishful thinking. All right, going into system settings, going into channel assign. Yeah, number 1 is port 1 is throttle, 2 is aileron, 3 is elevator. Yep. So yeah, that was the new
Okay
ESC. I also have an extra receiver.
Okay, so Andy's saying something here too. He says the aux BEC is plugged into channel 6.
The aux BEC is plugged into channel 6. All right, I'll try that. I'm going to unplug it first.
Right.
All
And
right.
you might want to try the aux BEC and channel and the bind. Yeah, well, you can put it in 6 for now because we haven't done anything yet.
Yep.
Put it into 6.
All right, 6, and the signal wire is missing off of it. So
Right.
it's going to be...
Because it's just a BEC.
Yep. Okay. All right. And plugging it in. Yep. And that's the stock motor.
Yeah, I think you probably have something plugged in wrong. That has to be what it is because.
All right. Well, let me unplug everything but the motor. How about that?
Okay. Because from what people are saying, the aux BEC, that could probably be in the bind port too, and it wouldn't. You need to make sure that that's plugged in right. The aux BEC.
Yeah, the signal wire is missing.
Right.
So it's empty on the top.
Right.
So I'm just going to take everything out of the receiver except for the ESC. All right.
Do you have the ESC plugged into the bind port?
No. I had the ESC plugged in, and I don't know if you guys can see if I do that.
No, it's the side of the plane. Pull up a little bit and we can see.
Yeah, hold on, I'm going to do that as I'm plugging it in.
Okay.
All right, so this is port 1. Then there's one space
bind
in front of it for the bind. And then this is the auxiliary BEC.
The bind should be below the 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a space behind.
There's a space behind.
Okay.
There is the throttle's in number 1, and there's one port
It says
for
bind.
the bind and programming.
Okay.
And then the BEC
Can be plugged
auxiliary
into bind.
and 6. Do you want to put it into bind?
You can put that into bind as well.
All right, cool. Awesome.
Because that's just power.
So let's see if I can get visual confirmation.
Okay.
That I only have 2 things plugged in.
Right. Oh, gone. I lost you, Joey. Come back. He might have something might have shut off. Come back, Joey. So this is interesting. I'm trying to figure out what's going on because everything's powered. Anyway, I'll get the light off so you don't see my shining forehead. This is a good one. All right, there he is. All right, I see you.
So I don't know when I'd lost signal, but I
It
just rebound it with the throttle from the ESC.
When you hear the throttle beeping like that, it's saying that there's no signal. It's saying there's no throttle signal.
According to my radio, there is throttle signal. So do we think it's the receiver is not receiving?
Let's try a different receiver. Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
Okay.
But that just doesn't make sense. No, but it does. Your port could be bad. So try another receiver.
Okay. All right. This one you guys can watch.
Yeah. So, okay. So
throttle, signal wire up into port 1.
okay, and then the aux. You
and
could
then
put the
aux.
aux is normally in 6.
All right, the
But
aux goes in 6. It's fine.
yes, just do that. Sorry,
Cool.
bug flying around. What's up, John
Aux in
VHRC?
6.
And yes, Andy Cho, troubleshooting's fun, especially with electrical stuff. I do it too.
All right.
So now you're gonna have to do the bind process.
I forgot to push the button. Try it again. Push the button. Okay, got blinky light.
That's the new receiver too, right?
This is the new receiver.
Okay.
Okay, it's binding.
There you go. Sounds like your receiver's the problem.
Okay, I've got my hand on the throttle. Big money.
There you go. I think your ESC is the issue because it never noticed the signal.
You think the receiver is the issue?
The receiver in the plane is the issue because it never noticed the throttle signal.
Love it.
So now let's go back to the the whole program you have for your plane already.
Do you want to try the Gooniac LED, or we think the controller's bad?
So let's hold on. Leave that as it is. But that receiver, I want to program that receiver to work the same as the one that you have in the plane.
Cool.
So we need to go to the plane you have saved in your radio, and bind it to see if it works.
Not the actual one.
What's that?
The original one I had.
Right, the original one you had. You already had the plane programmed.
Okay. All right.
And then if we can get that to work there, then we can try the burner and see if that works.
All right. Going to bind again.
Ghost RC, what's up?
Binding. All right, bind config, auto configuring.
Throttle down. Put your do your throttle trim down a couple clicks. We're gonna fix that later. Okay, unplug it. So, okay, so what happened was you had your throttle cut on, and then you clicked it off. So make sure your throttle's active, and then plug it in again.
Throttle cuts off. Throttle is down. Throttle is down. Throttle cut is off.
It's got to do its click, 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 and then
it's not going to do the click, click, click because I only have I just have the ESC plugged in.
Okay, so leave it level. There you go.
It's bound. This is the one that we changed the channel assignments.
Right, but it still should work. So what did we do different?
I'm going to put it back the way it was and try it one more time.
Yeah, okay.
Aux 1 was... I forget what aux 1 was originally.
Should just be aux 1.
Yeah, but now it doesn't let me pick that.
Flap?
I don't know. Next. Aux 1, let's try it over here. All right, port assignment to aux 1 is aux 1, and throttle is going to be throttle. List. Main screen. All right, let's try it again.
Yep.
Nope. I got the beeping to stop. Nope.
Okay, now pull it back. Pull it back. Okay. So that's got to be, that's a throttle issue. Okay, so
I like the idea of doing the new model.
do the whole new model. Do
Yeah.
everything over. Start over the way it should.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I like that.
But I think we'll get it to work. But I think I need to send you a new controller.
Okay, cool.
Because that might be burned out.
Another newbie question. Do I need to, the receiver came out of a Focke-Wulf
You need to go through and do you have the thing to reset it?
I have it. I don't know how to do that.
Okay. There is a way to do it, and I think RC Air Marshal shows you how. Pretty easy. I don't know how. I had Nate do it for me.
And go to Spectrum site and do something. I've never done.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send you the link.
Sweet.
But it's you have to change the model and then go through and reset it. Change the ESC. You have to reset the ESC because right now it's set up for that other plane. You want it to be set up for the one you want.
Exactly. And I think I do. Yes, I've got that program. Okay.
But I'll give you the link to that. I can send that to you offline. But we at least kind of got somewhere. We figured out it's that receiver. That's the issue.
Yeah. The fan turned on. The light turned on too.
Which it hadn't done. So that's good. So it's just the receiver.
Both of those things are. I'm glad to.
But I'll send you the link for that, and then we can you can do that. That's through RC Air Marshal. He shows you how to do it really well.
Okay, great. Rock and roll. That's awesome.
Cool. So we made some kind of headway.
Yeah. I didn't get electrocuted.
Yeah, nothing got burned up.
No
so
smoke came out of
make sure everything's unplugged. So okay, so
no,
cool.
Blew up.
So I'll make sure to send that stuff to you because we've already been going for an hour and a half. I don't want to keep going too long.
Yeah, that was amazing. Oh my goodness, that was fun.
We made some progress.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Got to get this thing up, and then hopefully I can share some footage of it flying. I want to take it back to Andrews Air Force Base and put it next to the.
Oh, that would be cool.
To its plane and drive it around and taxi it on the over by Air Force One.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
So let's I'll send that stuff to you, and then we can do it from there, and then we can keep in touch and make sure everything's working.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for helping.
Yeah.
Comments.
But it's funny. I'm like, wait a minute. If we've done all that, it's got to be that port that's not working.
Yeah.
So maybe you fried it. So.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, I'm gonna head on out. But thanks for being here, and thanks for everyone else for being here.
Absolutely.
And,
thanks.
We'll be in touch.
All
right. See you later.
Keep them level.
All right. Okay, guys. We'll see you later. I'm going to sign out, but we'll check back with him another time. But thanks everybody for being here. That's it. Adios.
you.